Just how long have humanoids existed? Couldn't they exist on another planet somewhere? Couldn't there be other planets just like ours sustaining life in the so many galaxies that we know about now? And the religious beliefs that we've all been taught. We've been bombarded with religious beliefs, people trying to make us believe something. What is real? Are there flying saucers? Why would there be reports, secret reports, held from us, coming now to us from sources like YouTube? Secret documents held by the Germans. They came in contact with aliens. They shot down a flying saucer and confiscated alien bodies. We don't know about these things, and everyone wants to rule out Roswell. Well, I got news for you. They're out there. It makes sense. We're humanoids. We need to be humane. Save humanity. It's not just about you. It's about outer space.
Woke up this morning with light in my eyes, and then realized it was still dark outside. It was a light coming down from the sky. I don't know who
Stephen, allow me to apologize. That wasn't very nice of me.
Must be those strangers that come every night.
All right,
saucer-shaped light.
Sorry about
Put people uptight.
People throughout the world. And the most wonderful thing about the United States is that it's open to people from all over the world joining in intellectual thought and joining our universities and contributing through sources on the internet and many other ways of communications that will solve these problems.
So you're saying to the students of the world, reach out for the things that you can do.
Absolutely.
Had flies in my beard, my toothpaste.
Theory of evolution.
My window, they'd written my name. Said, so long, we'll see you again.
The orange rain tears at our soft
Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along? I won't do anything wrong. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along for a ride?
Another deadly environment. Countless creatures perish, but natural selection helps our ancestor adapt. Thicker skin protects us from the sun.
Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take
that
me
will one day
along?
become our fingernails.
I won't do
Help us
anything
move
wrong.
across the rough terrain.
Hey, Mr. Spaceman,
We're
won't you
Casanova.
please take me along for a
We've adapted to
ride?
life on land, but our eggs haven't. They need a tough shell to stop them drying out in the sun. The problem is, males can't fertilize an egg through a tough shell, but they can fertilize it before the shell forms, inside the female's body. Sex as we know it starts here. The result is a masterpiece of evolution. An egg in a tough shell with all the nutrients the embryo needs sealed inside. Sex is the best way to increase genetic variety and keep our species alive. Thanks to sex, 340 million years ago, Casanova becomes the first of our ancestors to live entirely on land. It's a new world, different from anything we've experienced up to now. We breathe air, support our own weight, and wrestle with an onslaught of new smells, sounds, sights. Bombarded with information, our brains evolve. We're smart, and we need to be. From that first creature to set foot on land, millions of species have evolved.
It's a wonderful time to live right now. for it is a revolution of technology. We are now in the space age. It's only a matter of a few years before people will be space traveling. Welcome to the 21st century.
You're watching Outer Space on Channel 24.
This is actual orbiting space telescope and the supercomputer. Today announced that they found the first two Earth-sized planets orbiting another star. Now, if you're an astronomer this is a big deal. If you're someone who's just interested in life in the universe, this is also a very, very big deal, because the size of the planet matters for two reasons. One, it means that these are places that have are small enough to have the kind of gravity and the kind of rocky, solid composition that Earth has, makes it a nice, comfortable place for us carbon-based life forms.
Right.
And secondly, it means that this telescope, which cost the taxpayers $600 million, can actually do what it was designed to do. It can see objects 1,000 light years away that are that small.
Can they tell if there is life form on this planet? Can these telescopes tell that, or do we not have a sense of that?
Absolutely not. They haven't got a clue even of what the mass of these planets are. And without actually knowing that, you can really only guess about their composition.
So
and that's where the supercomputers came in. They really needed to do a lot of very high-order statistical crunching to tease these signals out.
So there's no guarantee that they have a Kepler 20e version of MTV, right? We don't know that yet. Here's my question for you. This is, I mean, they didn't just happen to find these planets. This is part of a larger project to discover these kind of Earth-like planets, right?
Right. Since 2009, NASA, well, that's when they orbited the Kepler, and they've been systematically surveying a cluster of 150,000 stars continuously, looking for the little dips in light that occur when something, maybe another star, maybe a planet, maybe just a cloud of dust, passes in front of the star. And that's their indicator. Now, they have to watch a lot of these, what they call transitions, they're eclipses really, to be able to determine that the object that's causing this is indeed a planet. They have, I think, another year or two to go, and then they're hoping to extend the mission for another 3 or 4 years. The telescope, as these things are, is behaving well.
I mean, they have a lot of candidates.
Right. There's like possibly 10 possible habitable Earth-like planets they're watching?
Well, these are candidates. I mean, the vocabulary here gets pretty squirrely pretty quickly. They have found so far what they would call 2,000 or more planet candidates. That means they have signals that are looking pretty good. But remember, you're not looking at something optically. This is all
extrapolated, basically.
It's extrapolated from kind of static in a way. I mean, not literally, but that'll do. And then of these, about 48 actually are orbiting their stars, if in fact they are planets, which we don't know yet. They're orbiting their stars in that zone where it's warm enough for water to be liquid. And for us conventional carbon-based life forms, I know you don't think of yourself that way, but we need water as a precondition for our existence. So that's a big indicator for NASA in their search.
And I mean, you know, what's the next step from this? Okay, so they have another year where they're going to complete this cataloging. Do we start sending hello messages after that and hope we get something back?
We've been sending things. You know, when we broadcast, you know, radio broadcast, television, those things go out into the universe. We've been saying hello since I think it's the early 1950s. We are the peeping toms of the universe. I mean, we're going to continue to stare out there. I know NASA has other, you know, expensive telescopes they'd like to orbit to narrow the search, because at a certain point you're going to hit just the resolution, technically, of what you can see at a distance. These things are very, very far away. I mean, we'll never in our lifetimes be able to launch missions to them. And in a way, it's kind of distressing, I guess. You know, here we are, finally, we've got the capability to learn. We may not, whether or not we're alone in the universe, who knows, but we've got places to visit, you know. And
all the content of this program was acquired through YouTube.com.
Astronomers announced the discovery of Kepler 22b, a planet orbiting a star, not unlike our own sun, at a distance where life can thrive. The discovery was announced by a team of astronomers using the Kepler Space Telescope. Launched in 2009, Kepler's sole purpose is to hunt for Earth-like worlds around other stars. Unlike other telescopes, Kepler stares at a region of the sky in the constellation of Cygnus the Swan. Its 95-megapixel camera monitors 150,000 stars in its field of view. But Earth-like planets are impossible to directly image using our very best telescopes. They're simply lost in the glare of their parent stars when seen from such great distances. Instead, Kepler monitors the slightest of changes in brightness of the star as its planet transits in front of it during its orbit. Using this technique, Kepler has discovered 28 exoplanets, and as many as 1,500 possible new worlds are awaiting confirmation. Over time, the light from Kepler-22 briefly flickered by just 1/2 of 1/1000th of a percent, once every 290 days. Astronomers quickly understood that this was a planet within Kepler-22's habitable zone. A habitable zone is a range of distances around a star where the temperature is neither too hot nor too cold to support life. A habitable zone around a hotter star would be farther out, while a habitable zone around a cooler star would be closer in. Given a star's temperature, there is an orbit where the temperature is just right for life. Kepler-22b's orbital period places the planet within Kepler-22's habitable zone. The star at Kepler-22 is almost identical to our own Sun, just 220 degrees Kelvin cooler. So its habitable zone is slightly closer, making Kepler-22b a strong candidate for finding life. Kepler-22b is 2.4 times the diameter of Earth, placing it somewhere between Earth and Neptune in size. But so far, we know nothing else. Not its composition, or even if it has an atmosphere inside of which life could survive. To answer these questions, astronomers will need to use different types of telescopes at optical and infrared wavelengths to determine what kind, if any, atmosphere might exist at Kepler-22b. At 600 light-years away, we will not be able to visit Kepler-22b anytime soon to see for ourselves if life really does exist there. But that hasn't stopped the SETI Institute from using the Allen Telescope Array and taking a listen for any possible artificial signals coming from Kepler-22b, just in case. Meanwhile, the hunt for Earth-like worlds continues with the Kepler telescope, and an ever-growing archive of data is being produced, and we need your help sorting through it all. PlanetHunters.org is a site where anyone can log in to examine Kepler's data and help identify the telltale signal of orbiting planets. Could Kepler-22b really be a second Earth? Well, that remains to be seen. But what is truly remarkable is that we are now able to detect worlds orbiting within stars' habitable zones. Kepler-22b is only the first of many more such worlds surely to be discovered. Life-bearing planets have long been speculated. Kepler-22b is a major step toward knowing they truly exist.
Youth are inspired at the most basic levels of tactile experience, and the toy designers are very savvy as to what the children are interested in today, and they are in a totally technologically immersed experience. So when they designed the toys of the past would be simply just too boring and uninteresting for the children of today and the children of the future.
Well, you got a point there.
Yeah. So they really try to incorporate forward thinking in the toy design. I once knew a toy designer and a very forward thinking fellow. And in fact, you know, it's been a good 60 years now that science fiction films and science fiction based toys.
I was just going to say movies. Yeah. Movies are probably a big influence on us as well.
They certainly are, and in the cinematic realm, you are able to explore the imagination in a way that you can't necessarily in the physical world. Now, computers and enhanced computer design have actually sort of melded that experience of what we would normally think of as a movie experience, but truly, with the movie, you are without bounds. You're reaching that galactic edge of what may be possible.
You know, Kelly, you just make my brain think about it. It goes in many directions when I talk to you. I was just wondering if George Lucas has gotten patterns on the stuff he had his artist draw. You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff might become reality, right?
Well, a lot of it is reality already. We're in a wash in an ocean of information, and hardly a person can keep up with all of the advances that occur on an hourly basis. So there is such a wealth of information that it would take hours and hours of internet searches just to understand all of the things that are actually happening simultaneously. So it really is a tsunami of innovation that is occurring globally, And we are now more than just a global species, because now we have touched the outer planets, and we have interstellar work going on. So, and we have seen other planets that mimic the conditions of Earth, and we found about 4 of them that really are very much Earth-like. So really, this is our time of expansion.
There's got to be somebody out there.
They're certainly out there, and I think on more than one occasion they have phoned home to tell us that they're here and they're willing to talk.
Okay, well, let's watch this clip right here.
Okay.
If things don't work out on this planet, on this planet.
People's beliefs. Belief that the world's going to end, rapture's coming.
We don't know. But now, okay, they said they discovered aliens in Russia way back when. And in the 40s, there was discoveries, space discoveries of things like, well, in the 50s, you know, they had, no, 1947, it was in the 40s as well. Roswell, big crash. Hundreds of people saw that. I think it was
the weather balloon.
158 to 200 people saw it.
Yeah, big weather balloon goes down.
Yeah, but first of all, the government went ahead and said that it was alien bodies, and then later they said, "Oh, we made a mistake." It was
they were monkeys, weren't they?
Yeah.
I thought they were monkeys.
No, they were real aliens.
Aliens?
Watch this clip.
All right.
Over 40 years ago by the German
UFO sighting in Germany, June 28, 2012. I'm here with Anthony. We're looking at this thing, right?
Yeah, floating around the rose.
Okay. Now, we weren't really sure about it. We thought maybe it was, you know, it was like maybe they made it.
It was a little Photoshop or some kind of After Effects, or I don't know. You can judge for yourself.
Yeah. The Kepler.
Oh no! Hey Kelly, you know what? This is for public access TV. This is Channel 24. You're my space guy that showed up finally. It's dark. You see how dark it is outside, folks. You finally showed up. I waited. You seen me waiting. It was earlier when I got here.
Well, that's because I'm a real creative, and I take my time because I'm thinking about everything at least twice or 3 times sometimes.
I gotcha. Hey, so you're saying mankind is headed for space, no doubt. Am I correct?
That truly is our future. Without the ability to expand limitlessly, the human race will be limited to the same dynamics that have reduced us to the current status that we're in. And this whole new century of energy and exploration will be a mercantile revolution in comparison to the past mercantile revolution that populated the New World with Northern European and other peoples from around the world. So as we integrate on the galactic scale, we're entering into a whole new era of human history that is totally exciting and totally brand new.
Okay. Well, is it like, would you say that it's necessary for humankind, for our species to seek out of space, or are we going to make it here on the planet or not? I mean, are you saying it might be the only survival for humans, or no?
Well, clearly it is one means of survival. There are several streams of thought which say that we don't need outer space at all. All we've got to do is go totally organic and throw away technology. But I think we've come too far to revert in that manner. So really what we have is an opportunity to expand to a new type of being. And really what I see in our future is to return to being closer to energy, an energy-based being. So that does mean all kinds of different physical forms may occur.
Oh, well, all right. And we're going to leave you with that note because we're going to talk to our science what can we call you for technically as a advisor?
A galactic advisor.
Galactic advisor.
Yeah.
And
Basically.
in some way, where there an ego, there's a problem. So we have an ego. And that's what causes this destruction on Mother Earth.
Oh, gotcha.
So when Mother Earth decides to shake off this, pesticide, human beings, diseased, her disease, we'll see some dramatic changes in our space.
Oh, okay. So
That's
like
what I
maybe,
believe, that's
so
my
like maybe all of these storms and stuff like that happen, or Mother Earth saying, "Hey, I don't like the feeling of all you, all you parasites up here. There's too much big crowd of parasites in New York.
Exactly.
Let's hit them with the waves.
Things need to happen. Things need to happen. You know, you have an entity of a human being. Let's just say people here. You know, we have our liver, we have our kidneys, our blood. Without those things, we don't live. Mother Nature, she has her blood. You know, it's called it's called uranium. You know, certain not chemicals, but certain minerals you take and drill out of this earth, it's going to start destruction in certain things.
Wow.
So I think this is really we're at our point of space, and what that space will be in the next 10 years, 50 years, century will be very changing.
Yeah, well, you're on my Outa Space program, whether you like it or not.
All right.
What's your name again? Tell us.
Ramon Gutierrez.
Ramon, we might come back here.
As known as DJ Dread Ramos.
We might come back here with our scientist guy and talk to you again.
All right, please do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have your next figure that you're going to get. You ready?
Call the studio, though.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get you on the show.
If our itch to explore becomes unbearable at some point in the future. Astronomers have recently found out what kind of galactic real estate might be available to us. We'll have to develop advanced transport to land there, 20 light years away. But that's for later. The question right now, is it worth the trip? The destination is a star that you can't see with your naked eye, in the southern constellation Libra, called Gliese 581. Identified over 40 years ago by the German astronomer Wilhelm Gliese, it's a red dwarf with 31% of the Sun's mass and only 1.3% of its luminosity. Until recently, the so-called M stars, like Gliese 581, flew below the radar of planet hunters. They give off so little energy that a planet would have to orbit dangerously close.